We're recording now. Aha. Can everyone hear me and see me? Oh, that's better. That's better. That's better. See, all fooled you. You all thought it was going to be Tracey, didn't you? But it's not. For the moment, you have me for a few minutes, and then you have the wonderful Tracey Payne coming on to share some fantastic information with you guys. That still needs to come down a bit further. Hey, that's better. That's better. Good evening, everyone. Welcome to tonight's Shooting Stars team webinar. We've got a great evening lined up. Tracey's got some fantastic training for you. We're going to be looking at we were looking at what we did on Saturday, actually, here at the workshop, just going through the getting in touch with people. Okay, what's the best way to get in touch with people, to talk to people, to get information out to people, how to do that. And there's been some changes over the last few months, over this year, as to how we're doing that. We just want to bring you up to speed to make sure you're aware how to do that. And for those who are here Saturday or saw it Saturday, it's going to be a great reminder for you, some bits you might have missed, didn't pick up on, need a refresher on. And for those who haven't seen it yet, it's going to be some new stuff for you. But before we have that, you have me. I joined the business. So my name's Harvey Kent. Joined the business over 11 years ago now. And I was looking for just £50, £60 a week. So all I needed initially, because I had a young family, we decided with my then wife that she wasn't going to go back to work, and I was going to be the sole breadwinner. But we could only do that for so long. And we got to a situation, I don't know if anybody else has experienced this, but where the money ran out before the month did. And that was happening to us. So we had to find a way of bringing some more money in. Because of my managerial role, I couldn't take a part-time job because my hours were always changing every day. They weren't set out. I couldn't just leave at 5 o'clock. I just couldn't leave at 7 o'clock or whatever time I was due to finish because of the role I had. I couldn't start my own business. I looked at franchises and things like that because I always fancied doing my own business, but we had no money to invest. And I came across Clean Easy through an internet advert. Looked at the business, got shown what other people were making here, people from various different backgrounds, just ordinary people making some great money, and got started. First 4 weeks made £233. No online then, just with the catalogues, 200 catalogues going out twice a week, and I actually started halfway through week one of a period. And so it's 3.5 weeks and earned myself £233. And then within 18 months, I built up the income through the retail, through sharing the business with other people, helping other people to get started, helping them to make money. And after 18 months, I was able to hand my notice in at the job. And now, as of end of last September, I haven't had a full-time job for over 10 years, which has been absolutely fantastic. Plus, it's given me more than money. It's given me that time, freedom of choice with my time, so I could be there for the kids as well. Met my fantastic partner, Tracey, for the business as well. So the business has given me more than just money. So that's enough about me. Let's focus on you guys now, okay? This is what this webinar is really all about. It's about focusing on you guys, recognizing your successes through the period and at the end of the period, and also giving you information that you can take away and you can put into your business and you can grow that income that you want so that you can do the things that you want to do. And I know that's why we join this business. Most people join this business so they can have the income to do the things that they want to do, but they can't get, and they can't get that income through another source, or it's an additional income on top of what they're already getting to be able to give them more things. So let's crack on. Recognition start off with, guys. And welcome to the team. Last period, period 11. This is the recognition for the whole period. Period 11, because we're now into period 12. Recognition. 24 new team members joined the team, which is absolutely fantastic. So welcome to you all. Very warm welcome. And I believe some of you are on here tonight, which is absolutely fantastic. What have we got on tonight? Let's have a quick look. We've got 20 people on at the moment. And any of the new people on here tonight. If you're new and you're on here tonight, whether it be your first one or second webinar and you've only just joined the business, just shout up, put a big fat hello in the chat box. Okay, Fiona, yes, hello, welcome. Just let us know that you're on and you're tapping into this training so that you can grow the business that you want, earn the money that you want. So welcome to everybody there. So who brought these new business partners in? Who's been busy helping people to get started? Who's been busy growing their business? Well, let's have a look. Some fantastic sponsoring going on for the whole of the period. ourselves, well, mainly Tracey really, sponsored 5 into the business last period, closely followed by Monica and Marcin. Then Jay and Heron with 2. So Monica Marcin with 4, Jay and Heron with 2, Dimple and Andy with 2, and then everybody else sponsored 1, which is fantastic. Sue Dickinson, Rosie Bowers, Emma and Stev, Rebecca Wesley, Jodie Mulholland, Angie Brown, Arthur Ashton, Jude Newton, Mariella Aquilina, Kalpana Policetti, Judith Coates, and Sally Ann Clark. So well done to everybody on there. Absolutely fantastic. And this is the time, guys, to be sharing this business with people you know out there. That's the quickest and fastest way to build your business. Share what we have with people you know. We have the tools there. We have the video link, get the information out to people. Just let them have a look. Yeah, expose them to what we have and let them make a decision as to whether it's something for them. Top retailers then. Absolutely fantastic. These are our top 25. I'm not going to say everybody's name on here, but the top 5 top recognition for Sue Dickinson. Just short of £3,600 in 4 weeks. Fantastic. Then ourselves are on there. Then Kirsty and Michael, just short of 2,300. Jude Newton, just over 2,100. Jane Heron, 2,000, just over 2,000. Fantastic. Oh, go on, I'll keep going. Top 10. Dimple and Andy, 1,877. Janice Malone, all the way up there in Scotland. Fantastic, 1,567. Angie, 1,194. Mariella, 1,161. And Monica, 1,125. So fantastic. So everybody on there, it's great to see you on there. The orders are out there. Okay, which is brilliant to see. And you can see the orders are out there. Just look at this. There's some posts we've taken from Facebook just recently. Monica last weekend, she collected the books were out over the weekend, posting in on Facebook, and she picked up £510 in orders over the weekend and on Monday. Yeah, week 1. Yeah, £500. Do that every week. That's over £2,000 there in 4 weeks, and £140 of that was from online orders. So yeah, if you're on Monica's team, find out what she's doing. Yeah, find out how she's doing it. Yeah, and just copy what she's doing. Okay, and what we might do actually, we might even get Monica on here to share with you what she's doing to generate these orders, so that you could all benefit from it. Michael, look at Michael, posted this up yesterday. 52 orders so far this period from his customer base. Build a customer base that will pay you forever. And again, Monica, look at this, using thank you packs. Yeah, she picked up orders from customers, left thank you packs, and then she picked up an extra £53 when she delivered the orders from the thank you packs she's left. So again, thank you packs work. Use them. Get the thank you packs out there. Welcome rewards. If you're new to the business, not fully aware that what welcome rewards are, you can pick up free catalogs. Okay, in your early days, Clean Easy recognises that you will lose catalogs if you're working with catalogs. Okay, or if you've not been working with catalogs, there's a way of getting some catalogs for free for your online orders that you generate. So you can be started doing both. You can do online and some catalogs, which is going to increase your retail, which is going to increase your income overall. So when you do your first £150 in your first 30 days, you can get 50 free catalogs. Then if you go on to do over £600 worth of orders in your first 30 days, you can pick up another 100 catalogs. And then if you go on to do another £600 worth of orders, making that a total of £1,200 within your first 60 days, you can then pick up another 100 catalogs. So you can get 250 catalogs for free by working your business. And if you follow the system we teach and are consistent with doing your posting, consistent with getting your catalogs in and out, then you'll get these rewards. With the consistency in doing the numbers, you'll hit these rewards. So let's have a look and see who's been hitting these rewards. Okay, well done. Emma Lewis, fantastic post put up here by Jay. Yeah, picked up her first welcome reward. It's done her first £150 worth of orders in her first 30 days. So well done, Emma Lewis. And then Mariella posted this one up for Carla. Yeah, 2 weeks into the business, and she smashed her first welcome reward. And she's also got a group going. Yeah, her goal was to get 1,000 members into her group for running her first competition. Well, she smashed that. She's got 1,300 plus customers in her selling group on Facebook. So she's going to generate some orders through that and potentially recruit some people into her business, get some new business partners through her Facebook. And she runs a few more competitions down the line. She'll grow it even more. So well done, guys. Absolutely fantastic. And just before I go on to the next bit with regards to the bonus levels and what people have achieved. But I would just like to mention on here, well, actually I'll bring that next slide up. I'll leave that up so you can just see that and study that if you want to for a moment. I just really want to touch on the news we had this week. Hopefully you've all seen your EWB or your weekly newsletter from Clean Easy that came out on Friday. Just bringing us up to speed. Also the update from Michael Cathcart, the update on what's happening with the catalogues. Yeah, we've got new catalogues scheduled to come out at the beginning of November. Okay, not far away now, a week or so away. And I know we're going to get another update on Friday about it, but we've got some brand new catalogues coming out. They're going to be slightly smaller than our normal main catalogue out. But the reason I'm so excited that these catalogues are coming out is that all the products in the catalogue are going to be available, which is absolutely fantastic. So that means that if people order for that catalogue, do you know what? You're going to be able to sit and put your order on, and it's going to go through. You're going to receive them all, and you're going to deliver them all. It's going to eradicate all the back orders we've been getting of late, where we haven't been able to get the products that people are ordering all the time. Yeah, that's going to be rectified, but those products are going to come in, but these fresh catalogues mean that we can get on with doing what we do best. We can get on with the retail. The customers are going to order stuff still. The customers will still spend with you. Even though it's a lower product range, it doesn't matter. Customers still have a certain amount they spend in the catalogue. So they'll still be spending, and we can still be networking, because ultimately this business is a network marketing business. So sometimes we can have too many products. A lot of the network marketing companies, the companies out there who use network marketing, don't have a huge stock range like we do. They're selling a far fewer products, and they're making some fantastic money through selling for fewer products. So I believe that we can still really go great guns with a smaller catalogue, because we'll have products to move still. There won't be the back orders, yeah, and we can share the business with lots of people who can come in straight away, do some retail and share it some more and grow our businesses. So I'm really excited about it. I think it's absolutely fantastic. And I know the investment being put in by JR Networks to get the stock levels up is coming in. It's going to be hitting Clean Easy Bank in a few days. And the first priority for them is to get the stock out with regards to the Christmas catalogue. So all those back orders we do have for the Christmas catalogue, they're going to be eradicated. We're going to get that stuff in time to get to people so they've got it for Christmas. And again, when that comes in, that means that we get all those orders we haven't been able to put through yet, we're suddenly going to be able to put through, and we're going to have some small, serious retail going through, and you're all going to earn the money that you deserve. So I'm really excited about that. I'm sure you wanted to mention that, and that's going to happen. So I'm really looking forward to that. So let's crack on with the recognition. Okay, so what I'm looking at here is everybody who's got a bonus. Next week, next Wednesday night, money will go into your bank account if you're coming up in the next few slides with your bonus payment from Clean Easy. Okay, so fantastic. Well done to Trudy, Rosie, Trevor, and Danielle. All got to the first volume profit bonus level, what we call the 10% bonus level. It's the first level of getting an extra bonus on top of your retail profit. So guys, well done. That's your PSGs. Brilliant, well done. Then we have our 13 percenters, the next bonus level on. Angie Sampson, Jackie Pomeroy, and Janet Malone. Well done, guys. Yeah, 13, the next volume profit level. You've got money going into your bank account. And then we've got the next bonus level. We've got the 15% bonus level. Okay, Jan Heron, 15%. Monica Marching, Michael and Kirsty are 15%. Their PSG is 15% outside of their gold businesses. So again, they built their business to gold and beyond. Both senior distributors, and outside of that business, they're now building their PSG up again, because the PSG is where your gold distributors come from. Yeah, PSG is key. Focus building your personal sales group. That's what PSG stands for, because that's where your business will grow from. Focus on being 10 active wide in your PSG, and you'll have a great income. So well done to you guys. Then 18 percenters. Yeah, Emma Louise, Emma Steph, Mariella, Dipton and Andy, Sue Dickerson. Fantastic. Up on the 18% PSGs. And then ourselves, outside of the whole business, Jude outside of her gold, Jude's at gold, or 24% PSG was 11,213. And ourselves, outside of the whole business, we've got a gold PSG, just over £10,500. So well done, Jude. And these are the bulk sales figures. Okay. For our whole business, for you guys, well done to each and every one of you, because you contribute to that. The Shooting Stars team turnover for last period was £32,835. So well done to all of you. Absolutely fantastic. We're so proud of each and every one of you. Whether you do a big amount or a small amount, it doesn't matter. As long as you're doing your best out there, then that's fantastic. Monaco Marching, their team turnover 11,025 at senior, and Michael and Kirsty senior, their team turnover 8,134. So well done, guys. Absolutely fantastic. Figures here, wanted to recognise Dimpton and Andy. Okay, this is one of the recognitions that Gavin Scott puts out. Gavin Scott's business, we're all part of Gavin Scott's business. He's got about £4,000 plus distributors in his team. Gavin's been in the business for over 25 years. And you can see Dimpton and Andy in there for week 4, period 11. At the end of period 11, new business for the period, just short of 600 bonus points. So fantastic. Well done to you guys for being on there. And top retailers in Gavin's business. Look at this. Okay. We have fantastic Sue Dickinson in there at number 17. Well done, Sue. It's great to see you on there. And ourselves just a couple of places below. The retail orders are out there. And you can see, look at the Watsons on there. So that's about sold for £7,500 retail they did last period. Just the retail. So there's retail orders out there, which is fantastic. And then top PSGs. Okay. Jude Newton, number 3. Yeah, out of the whole of Gavin's business. Yeah, number 3, so it's absolutely fantastic. And mine and Tracey's business, our PSG, outside of everybody else's, outside of the gold structure, also the bronze structure, we're up there keeping that PSG. So guys, focus on getting on this PSG list because that's where your business will grow from. Yeah, we keep saying PSG is key on there. Okay, who's excited? Who wants to know who the distributor of the period is? I know I do. Oh, I know already, sorry, but I'm still excited because I'm excited to share it with you guys because it is exciting to share this. And for you, anybody who's new in the business, not been on the webinar before, doesn't know what the distributor of the period is or distributor of the year, well, let me just run through it very quickly with you. We run the distributor of the period, okay, and we run the distributor of the year. The distributor of the year will get a long weekend down at the Woodford Bridge Coaching Inn down in North Devon, and which is absolutely fantastic. And this is some pictures from it. Okay, Monaco Marching won it last year, and they went on the one which in the park, which is down the road from us here. I know they had a fantastic time and really enjoyed it. So what I want to do now is just run through the distributor of the period, because the distributor of the period runs into distributor of the year, as you'll see in a moment. So, distributor of the period. And for anybody new in the business, these are the areas we focus on because we believe and we know, or we know that these areas at the top here are the areas that help move your business forward and help you increase that income and gain that income you join for. So if you do every £1,000 worth of retail you do, you get a point. Every person you sponsor into your business, you get a point. Every new team member you help get to their second welcome reward in their 30-day bonus, so they do over £600 worth of orders in their first 30 days, you get 5 points. Help a new team member get to the first bonus level, which is over £780 worth of orders in 4 weeks, you get 10 points. For every event and workshop you get along to that we're aware of and when you tell us about, you get 5 points. You get points for being on the team webinar. So tonight, for being on this webinar, to get your points for the webinar, you need to comment on the recording that's posted up in the team group. If you don't comment, you don't get your points. You have a week for the end of the webinar, and it's posted up, as long as it's posted on time, to get the comment on there. And if you don't comment, you don't get your points. If you put an extra comment in there to say you're on, and also what you got from the webinar regards feedback, what you're going to implement in your business, you get an extra point. You get points for being on doing a testimonial or being involved in the training or doing a training either on here, at the workshop, at the BOMs, then you get some points for that. And also, if you move up the pay plan, you get 10 points. You can get so that should say points. You get 10 points for moving up the pay plan. So if you move from 10 to 13, you get 10 points. That's 13% up. So you go from one bonus level to the next, then you get 10 points. So that's where we are with that. So that's how you get your points. And well done to everybody who's on here. These are people who have achieved points for period 11. Well, let's have a drum roll now. Who is the distributor of the period for period 11? It is Jay and here in Shala. Woo! Go guys! Fantastic. So well done, because I know they were so close in period 10. I think they missed it by 2 points in period 10, and they've maintained their focus. They've maintained their consistency. So they've retailed. Look, they've retailed £2,000, 2 points. Introduced a couple of people to their business, 2 points. Got to the workshop, 5 points. Been on all the webinars and commented on all the webinars. So they made sure they got their points in there. That's easy points. If you're missing points and you're on the webinars and you're not commenting, then you need to check that out. Got involved in doing a testimonial training at some point during the period, and that's where they got the points from. So that was open. Any of the top 3, top 4 could have got period of the period for period 11, but they didn't. It was Jane Heron. So well done, guys. Look forward to seeing you tomorrow night at Long Eaton, and we'll give you your trophy and your just recognition at the BOM tomorrow evening. So well done. So where does that go into the distributor of the year? Well, let's have a look at the distributor year now then, how that feeds in. There's no real change in where the top 10 are, but you can see there's still close, still tight. So Michael and Kirsty at the top there, yeah, and this for 2nd, 3rd, 4th, 5th, yeah, anybody could be in those positions in there for the end of the year. So that's where that feeds in, and that's how that works. Anybody new to this can see how the distributor of the period feeds in to distributor of the year. Okay, and I think that's it from me. It is, that's it. No more me. I'll say goodnight, say goodbye. I'll be on the chat in a moment, but I'm going to hand over and let the gorgeous Tracey Payne take over. See you, guys.
I'm bringing my jelly babies with me.
Don't you trust me or something?
Bringing my jelly babies
you
with me.
You think I'm going to eat them all?
Because Harvey will steal them. I don't bring them. Right, let me just bring that down a little bit. Hi, everybody. Fantastic to see you all, and well done, Jay and Hiran. Absolutely fantastic to see you getting distributor of the period. Brilliant. Well done, well done, well done. Right, I'm just going to run through with you for the next 20-25 minutes, if I talk really, really, really fast, the follow-up training that we did here at the workshop on Saturday. Now, obviously, some of you have seen it already, and we did live stream it, but I've had quite a few people come back to me and say, oh, can you run through it again, or can you send the slides? So I thought there was probably value in just whizzing through it with you again. The key with follow-ups for me is that there's no one way to do a follow-up, and with technology now and communication now, lots of different people communicate in lots and lots of different ways. So it's really just looking at the different ways that Harvey and I send information out to people who are looking at the business, and really just sharing our ideas with you. I don't for 1 second, profess to know all the answers. I can only show you what we're doing, and if you're doing something else that's working really well for you, then please share it. That's how we all get better and how we all learn. Now, the key really with follow-up, so people have responded to an advert of yours, and Harvey did some fantastic lead generation training with you all on the last webinar. And it might be somebody that's responded to a Facebook ad you've posted. It might be somebody that you know that's requested information. It might be from one of our paid advertising that's going on. You might have been in the ad pool, and it might be from there. It could be from a card, a flyer. There's so many different ways. The tip is to catch people whilst they are at their hottest. And they are at their hottest the moment they respond to the advert, and for a short period of time after that. Because we live in such a fast-paced society, don't we? We're all juggling loads and loads of different balls all of the time. So people's interest drops really, really quickly. And I think even more so if you're doing a lot of advertising on social media, people's interest is so fickle and so fast. People want instant information. Back in the day when Harvey and I joined the business, back in the day, 11 years ago, we used to send information out to people through the post, what we call the snail mail. quicker than pigeon apparently, but not much. And snail mail used to take, you know, 2 or 3 days to get to people, and then sometimes it would get lost en route, and then you'd have to send another information pack. And then when they had a look at the sort of leaflets you used to post through the mail, you then used to have a little bit of a chat, not too much, and then send them a DVD, or even going right back to when we joined, I saw the company video. Used to cost about £5 to post those things out. Could you imagine doing that now? And, you know, it used to take quite a bit of time to get information out. Now with having instant links to the videos, to information, to the sign up, you can have somebody inquire, join your business and be selling products within an hour. That's how fast we need to be these days. So interest goes away quickly. People forget what they've responded to. Most people respond to more than one advert, especially if you're doing things like the advertising pool. People don't just respond. If they're on a job site, it's highly unlikely that they are just going to respond to your advert, cross their fingers and hope that someone contacts them. The likelihood is they're going to respond to like a dozen or more adverts. They're going to respond to multiple adverts that they see on job sites. And lots of those job site adverts will be from different Clean Easy and different network marketing professionals. So when you get a lead come through and they say, I've already spoke to Joe Blogs about Clean Easy, it's not because your job advert has gone out to loads of Clean Easy distributors. It's because loads of Clean Easy distributors are placing job adverts and people are responding to more than one at any one time. So you've got to be fast. You've got to be fast so you can get in there first. You've got to be fast so people remember what they've responded to. And you've got to be fast before all the negatrons get to them, yeah? Who's had some negatrons in their life? You know, those people that just want to and tell you that it's rubbish and you won't make any money doing that Clean Easy thing. And you know what? Most of the time, none of them have even done it. They haven't got a clue. They're just sharing around some gossip that they've heard because their brothers, mothers, uncles, monkeys, pet dog did it 25 years ago and never made any money because they did it for an hour. That's the kind of thing we're up against. Okay, so we've got to catch people before any of that stuff happens to them. And we catch people, as I've already said, in lots of different ways. So I'm very quickly, because the training I did on the workshop, I stood up in front of the room for an hour and 20 minutes, and I can't do that with you tonight. So you've got to come to the workshops and get this stuff live, yeah? But I can give you a quick whiz through. And I'm really going to touch very quickly on how Harvey and I send information on email, text, WhatsApp, Messenger, and phone call, and the differences with using each of them, okay? So email, as soon as I get an inquiry through, so this isn't people that have responded on Facebook because we deal with that on Messenger. These are people that have normally come through the ad pool, okay? So people that are responding to job ads or have responded to job ads of ours or picked up a business card or a flyer and left their details on our website. If they come through our website or if they come through the ad pool, they go into our database. Now, we use a service called Big Advertising, and that's basically a database. All our leads go in there, and we've got some pre-recorded, if you like, pre-typed emails that as soon as a lead comes in, they automatically get sent a series of email messages. It's all automated, and a lot of the team use that now, and we pay for that service. The only downside for that, in my opinion, is that a lot of the emails get stuck in spam filters. So to counteract that, we also text those leads as well. And when I'm going back to message them, I always send it via my personal email because the contact manager goes through Big Advertising's email address. Okay, so they do end up in spam. So let me show you some examples of what Harvey and I send. So this is, you should be able to read all of that. This is our first email, and it's really just to give you an idea of the type of information we're sending. So we're just letting them know that we're looking for 2 types of people, and we do that because firstly, I want to attract people that just want to make £300 to £500 a month. So people who just want to make a little bit part-time, I want those people. But I also want more ambitious people. I don't want someone looking at the advert, getting this email and going, 300 to 500 quid is not going to cut it for me. I need a full-time income. So we've got in there, we're also looking for more ambitious people. We've also got in there, we're looking for those that want to earn in excess of 100 grand a year, because I also want those highly ambitious individuals that are used to earning a whole heap of money or would like to earn a whole heap of money. So I want to grab the attention of all three of them, hence why our email is worded that way. And all I'm sending them to have a look at, video 1 is the 4-minute independent new video, so you should all know what that is. You should have all seen that. The second video is literally a link to the K-Life video. So every time they bring out a new K-Life, they do a little seasonal video. You can get all of these from the Shooting Stars YouTube page. I'll make sure Harvey posts up a link in our team group to direct you to our Shooting Stars YouTube page. Subscribe to it. It's completely free because we upload all our webinars and I upload all of our videos and everything on there. So Harvey will get that posted into the team group at the end of the webinar. Won't you, Harvey? He said, no, don't do it now because they'll go and look at it now. Video 3, does it really work? That's in our team YouTube group as well, and that is just a little video of some clips from the online, so people sharing what they've done on their online sales. So 3 really, really useful videos, and that's what I send out first. When they've had a look at those videos, it sends them a second message, just thanking them, letting them know that I'm here for them to ask questions. And short money clip is the video that we played while you were all logging on, Rob Foster's Circles. So it gives them the overview of the business. Now, in between that, I'm obviously trying to get hold of them on the phone as well, but if I can't get them, then this is the information that they've been sent on email, okay? So it's really simple to do. The other thing that is really good with the contact manager, so all of my leads that have responded and gone onto my website go into my contact manager, my database. The great thing about that is that I can recontact those people at any time. Now, Harv and I have had our database for around 7 or 8 years now, maybe 8 years. We didn't have a contact manager for the first 3 years of our business. So all of those leads are lost, they're gone, or they're all written in little notepads. And I'm not going to sit there and scroll through 1,000 leads in notepads and try and find their numbers. But we've got 25,000 contacts in our database, and I frequently send out recruitment messages to them, and people come back on those messages all the time because people's circumstances change. Joe Bloggs, who responded 5 years ago, may not have been interested then, but he's recently got married, his partner's having a baby, and he's just found out there's redundancies at work. Do you think his circumstances might have changed now, and he could be possibly interested in looking? But he wouldn't know that we were still recruiting because he responded 5 years ago. So unless he reapplies for an advert, he wouldn't know that we're looking, but he does know because we're in touch with him frequently, because we send out regular, and by regular I mean weekly or fortnightly messages sharing information, okay? So again, you can send that through your contact manager, which is easy. It's one email and it tailors it to everybody's name, or you can send it out through your personal. I like to do it through the contact manager. And here's a little example of something that I sent out 2 weeks ago. And it was really just to let them know that I'm recruiting for Christmas. And you've got the company video on there. Now, something that I use occasionally, I don't use this very often because I prefer to send them the full sign-up link. But on your sign-ups, when you go into cleaneasy.com, you have the option to generate an instant sign-up link. So you don't have to fill in. Normally, you have to fill in their name and their email and their phone number and email them a link when you've spoken to them. You also have an instant sign-up option. You can select the starter kit and it will give you a little link, which is your personal link for each individual kit, and you can use it multiple times. And I use that in this particular email, and we sponsored 3 people from this who clicked through instant sign-up link and joined our team. So it works. All of these different things work. What I did, I also had people that clicked through but didn't actually complete and sign up. So I then had their details. So I sent an extra follow-up and letting them know that they've been sent the registration form. and they could obviously get in touch, have a chat with me and find out a bit more about it. So it's all in the follow-up, guys. This is really, really easy stuff to do. So, you know, you can take a copy of these slides and type these emails up yourself. So that's enough about emails. Let me chat to you very, very quickly about texting. Whenever you get an inquiry through, where again, coming from your website or coming from the ad pool, we always send out a text to let them know we've sent them information. And here's an example of what goes out on my mobile phone. So again, it's directing them to the video. So that little video link just takes them through to the Independent You and the K-Life product video. And it just says, if you want to get started or for more info, reply next step. I also tell them to look out for my email address so they can find the information if it's gone into their spam. And I get lots of people text back, next step. So what do I send to that reply? Well, when I get a next step text, I reply back asking them how they would like to receive the information. And I do that because people want to receive it in different ways. Some people come back to me and ask for a phone call. Others come back and ask me for a text, and others ask me for an email. So I respond in the way that they want to communicate with me, because I know that's what's best for them. If they want a text, this is what I send them. And just letting them know that it's a really simple business. Those two little product videos take them through to the Christmas catalogue, and it also takes them through to the K-Life catalogue. I don't tend to send the Clean Easy main because that's our nuts and bolts catalogue, isn't it? That's the cleaning products and the brooms and the brushes and those sorts of things. And it's normally the K-Life and the seasonal goods that will attract people in, even though we know it's those bread and butter products that keep us going month in, month out. We know those consumables, but let's face it, they're not very sexy, are they? It's much nicer to have a look at all the gorgeous K-Life and all the lovely Christmas. So tailor your little catalogue links that you send. I always let them know that there's a startup fee. I tend to lead with the £25 kit when I'm dealing with people on Facebook and on text, because there is the option to upgrade. In your first 30 days, you can upgrade to the big kit. And when we're covering the induction with new starters that we get new distributors on, I always emphasize that they can upgrade their kit. Okay, if I've had a chat with somebody on the phone, or I've had a good chat with them on Messenger or text, then I can tell them about the bigger kits at that stage as well. So I do give them the option, but this is my basic text that I lead with. If they want the information by email, then I send out pretty much exactly the same with the email, with the extra bit on there about the additional kits, because you can put a bit more in an email. If you put all of that via text message, they'd get about 5 texts through from you. And let's face it, most people won't scroll through and read all of that. On an email, they'll read a little bit more. So that's just an example of what I send out on email. The other thing to think about is WhatsApp. Are any of you using WhatsApp at the moment? Who uses it? I know quite a few of you do. I know when we were chatting about this on the workshop, quite a few use WhatsApp. Yeah, Louise does, fab. I know a few of you do. WhatsApp's brilliant because it's free. I know a lot of us get text for free, but if you want to send a picture message, and I'm going to talk about pictures in a moment, then you get charged. It's not part of your free text. You get charged for pictures because it gets sent as a different message. So WhatsApp's really good. The other thing about WhatsApp is it's like Messenger, and you can see that they have received and looked and read your text. So it's like Big Brother's watching you. You'll be sat there going, you've read my text, they haven't replied. It's been 5 seconds, why haven't they replied? Shall I text them back? So don't stalk them. So what you can do is, if I don't add everyone to WhatsApp, but if I've had somebody text me back for more info, then I immediately add their number to my contacts in my phone, and then you can search for that number or their name in WhatsApp. Okay, so if I don't do it with everyone I text because I send hundreds of texts, but if I've had some form of communication back, even if it's just next step, I add them to WhatsApp. I look to see if they're in WhatsApp, okay? And then I switch my communication over to WhatsApp. And I do that because you can send pictures and things for free. So start to use I'm going to share with you some picture testimonials and success stories I know quite a few of you are doing that already on Messenger, but I know quite a few of you are not aware that you can do that via WhatsApp and texting, WhatsApp in particular. So save some pictures to your phone device, save some success stories, and have a bit of a selection on your phone. You can get some great testimonials from Gavin's group. You can get them on our team group. You've got your own success stories and things, because you'll talk to lots of different people, and if you've got something that can relate to them personally, you know, if I was talking to a mum, I'll share some of our team mum stories or different things like that. It really, really does make a big difference. If I'm talking to, you know, like I say, a mum, then Jay is a great story, so I would have this saved as a picture, and I would share Jay's story and share what her experiences have been. If I'm talking to people that hate their job and want the opportunity to get out of it, then I would share Jude's story, a great example of somebody after 14 years managed to sack a boss. So have these testimonials saved. Mike and Kirsty's is a brilliant story on how you can replace a full-time income within just a few months. And they built it all predominantly on catalogues, which is incredibly powerful. So that is a great example of what can be done. The other thing that I tend to have saved as a picture is a lot of people ask me about different starter kits and what comes in them. So this is a great slide to have saved on your phone, on Messenger, that you can send to people. I save all those lovely pictures that you guys share of your orders when people are saying to me, do people order? And I've got some of these pictures saved. Then you've seen some in tonight's webinar already. They're in our team group, guys. You know, there's loads of stuff in there. Take screenshots, save some of these pictures, because this is evidence. Look at those orders. People need to see that. So I show evidence to people all the time. As I said, checks, success stories, orders. If you've had a really popular product in your shop where there's loads of messages and people commenting, take a screenshot, show it as an example. Do any of you use the electronic versions of Team Talk? Clean Easy, you know, share their Team Talk magazine with you every month. And again, you can take screenshots of some of the fantastic success stories and articles in there and use those as evidence. There's loads of stuff. I send out the Team Talk monthly to all my database, the monthly magazine for them to have a look at. So there's lots of tools that you have available at your disposal that you can use to send out to people. Send it out to your friends and family. Say, hey, do you want to have a look at our monthly newsletter? I'm really proud of it. You just never know who's going to read it and which article they're going to read that's going to make them think, I need to find out more about this. Because it's always people that bring people in. It's always something they read or something they watch that makes the difference. So use the evidence that's out there. You can send that on text, you can send it on email, you can send it on Messenger, you can WhatsApp it. It's really about, you know, back in the day when Harv and I joined, when we were posting info packs, we also used to have to go and do face-to-face appointments. So it didn't matter if you lived 1, 2, 3, 4, 5 hours away. The only way to sign somebody up was to physically go to their house with the catalogues, with the starter kit, with the sign-up form, and sign them up. And we used to take folders of evidence. You know, we used to have a folder that was full of, I've still got them here, full of success stories. We don't do that anymore, but that evidence is still needed. So you have to have an electronic form. And I don't think enough people are doing that. I think you need to be sharing that evidence, and it will make you stand out from those that are not. Messenger, just to touch on, I deal with in exactly the same way that I use text and I use WhatsApp. It's the same sort of stuff. You can send pictures and things as well. So when I put an advert out, or if I have an advert in my selling group, which is where I tend to do most of mine, and they ask me for info, the most important thing to mention here is that you need to get them to message you first. So if anyone asks me for info, I reply underneath and say, tag their name in, please send me a private message and I will reply. The reason you do that is you can reply to an unlimited amount of messages without getting a single restriction. because they've messaged you first. But if you sit there and send out message to people that you are not connected with, you will end up with a restriction within a matter of time, and quite quickly these days, because you're messaging people that you are not friends with, and Facebook will think you're spamming. So it's really, really important, if you want to do it right and stay within Facebook guidelines, that you ask them to message you first. And you can send, it's not the links that are on Messenger. When people say, oh, I can't send that link anymore, it's blocked me, it's not the links, it's because you're continuously messaging people that you're not connected with. So ask them to message you first, and they will, and it might go in your message spam folder, but you can just accept it. And I've sent out an unlimited amount, and I use the same links all the time, and I haven't had a single restriction or blockage. Okay, so this is basically what I send out, same sort of stuff. And then I ask them, I always go with that next step. You might ask me, what do you do if they don't reply back next step? Well, when I get a moment, within 24, 48 hours, if I get a moment, I will go through all those that haven't replied and just drop them a quick message saying, have you had a chance to look? Are you interested? Do you have any questions? If I get time. Most of the time I'm dealing with those that are replying next step, but you can do that. And that's what I send, which is exactly the same message that you've already seen on text and that you've already seen on Messenger. I send the same info. It's basically, it's a simple business. We sell through Facebook. We pass catalogues around. We give you loads of free training. These are some products. It's 25 quid. And it says 30-day money-back guarantee there, but that's just changed to 60 days until the end of the year. And I let them know what they're going to get. And people join. Some do, some don't. That's it. That's what I send. It really isn't anything special, anything different. It's just the basic information. And, you know, people come back and ask questions, and I ask them questions. What do you do at the moment? You know, oh, what's made you ask? What keeps you busy right now? I tend to say that. I don't tend to ask, are you working? I just tend to say, what keeps you busy at the moment? Because then they'll tell me, oh, I'm working, or I'm a mum, or whatever it is that they're doing. And I just try and get a bit of a conversation going and see if I can relate to them somewhere in there. And then if they want to get up and running, if they're messaging or texting, then I just send them the instant sign up link. I just have that saved and I can copy that straight across to them. Easy peasy. Easy peasy, easy peasy. Phone calls is a whole other training in itself. But again, you know, you've got the script book on the resource site. It's kind of what we do on Messenger and text. You're just asking them some questions, you know. What is it that you do at the moment? What keeps you busy right now? How can I help is a great one. And they'll tell you, oh, I'm looking for something part-time, or my daughter wants something I can do around the kids, or I just need a bit of extra money. Oh, really? What are you saving up for? And they'll tell you. So it's really just asking those questions. But I get that not everyone wants to pick up the phone. And you know what? To be honest with you, these days you don't really need to sponsor, providing you know you reply lots with messages and texts. The phone, you've got to get on the phone once they've joined. You know, you've got to get to know them and talk to your team. But as Gavin said, you know, so many people now want the information via text and via email. So we have to have those tools. We have to have those resources available, which is why I wanted to share that with you this evening, so that you knew how to respond in lots of different ways. My top tips really are use all the communication methods. I don't believe there's any one way that works better than others. Do what works for you, but be prepared to try all the different communication methods. If you know of any others, if anyone's like recruiting people through smoke rings or sign language or anything else that's working, then let us know. Definitely. And generate leads from lots of different sources as well. You know, I would always say to you, don't just rely on any one thing. If you're recruiting massively through one particular source, keep going, but try some other stuff as well, because you might be surprised. And, you know, use pictures, definitely. And, you know, picture paints 1,000 words. So have some of those success stories that you can send on picture. And definitely less is more. You know, just answer the questions, send them the basics. I think sometimes we overload people with too much and they go, whoa, that's a little bit more than I was looking for. So keep it simple, most certainly. And ask questions, but you know, in a really nice chatty way, and not in a, oh, Harvey's putting the kettle on, look, we can see him. Ask questions, but in a chatty way, you know, not interrogating them. And just, you know, just have a really, really good, nice chat with them, and ask help. You know, if you've heard anything on here tonight and you've got questions, speak to us, speak to your sponsor. We are here. We are here to help and support 100%. So whatever it is that you need, anywhere that you want some extra help, then please ask. Because one of the things we're not is psychic. We didn't get given that skill set yet. So we do rely on you guys to let us know what you need, and it's different for everybody. So please don't be shy. I know lots of you are not shy in asking, and that's amazing, but some of you might be. So it doesn't matter if you've been sponsored by me and Harvey or somebody in our team. Speak to your sponsor, speak to us direct. I don't mind. Just get the help. Get the help, and get them started properly. We're going to be covering getting new team members started properly at our next workshop, so you need to make sure you're here, because that's a really, really big subject and a big skill set. So we're going to do lots on that. So I hope that's helped, guys. Any questions on that, type them in the chat box, or definitely have a chat with us later. But I just wanted to run through that with you. The webinar will be uploaded, so you can go back and have a look at that again. And if it's useful for that one, I'll quite happily upload the slides, because I know you'll probably want to take some of the screenshots from there, so I can upload the slides for that as well. So let me just give you some dates for your diary, so you can get all these booked in. Who's coming to the workshop, not the workshop, the recruitment night tomorrow? Yeah, we have the awesome Karim Kamali. I know lots of you would have seen Karim speak in front of thousands of us at the last showcase. He's absolutely awesome. He's got some great information. You know, Karim and May both work full time, and they earn over $3,000 a month with Clean Easy as well. Very, very, very good. It's all about working smart. So he's brilliant. So if you are within an hour or two of Long Eaton, I highly urge you to get along, because it's brilliant. Meeting starts at 8 o'clock. We're there from 7, setting up. Most of the team arrive around 7:30, so they can steal all the biscuits that are out with the tea and coffee, and they also want to grab all the CDs before they sell on the tools table. So get there for 7:30 if you want to grab everything, and we really look forward to seeing loads of you there. I'm going to be in Swindon on Sunday. Who's coming? Who's got tickets booked for Swindon? This is a couple of hours for us, but you know what? Have you seen that lineup? Oh my gosh, look at that. We have Jill Nicholson. Now, you all saw Jill at the showcase. Jill has been in the business for years. She's an absolute icon in Clean Easy. Debbie G, for those of you that don't know, is an absolute whiz on Facebook and social media. She is full of information and nuggets, and I can't wait to hear what she's got to say. Martin Bell has got a brilliant business. I'm sure lots of you saw Martin at the big one. He was fantastic. He spoke at the Clean Easy conference. Peter Wellock, ex-copper, great story. We have our distributors of the year, Eamon and Marie. I can't wait to hear what they've got to say. And of course, our very own managing director, Michael Katkar. For those of you that haven't met Michael yet, he's so approachable and so fantastic. I can't wait to be in a room with all of these people. And if there is any secret to mine and Harvey's success, it's the fact that we've never missed an event, and we'll travel, we'll get in the car, we'll fill the car up, and we'll go wherever we need to go. Tickets for this are £7. £7. I've got, I think, if Monica's already stolen a seat, I think I've got another couple of spaces left in my car. If anyone local here wants to come to my house and jump in with me, let me know. But I definitely urge you to book a ticket. Definitely. Danielle, if you can get to me and you want to jump in with me, drop me a message after here, darling. Get a ticket booked, then absolutely. First come, first served. Whoever wants to jump in with us, It's gonna be worth it. And just to let you know, we have the lineup now for the Vista Group Success Rally. Harv and I will be here as well. Again, you know, we travel. We've always gone to the Success Rallies. Jackie and Peter White are premier distributors, you know, in Clean Easy. We have our very own Rob Foster. If you've seen us talk about Rob, never met him. When is the Swindon one? Michael, I just spoke for 5 minutes on Swindon. Does anyone want to tell Michael when Swindon is? It's on Sunday! Sunday, this Sunday. The Peterborough one is on Saturday, the 9th of December. And look at that lineup. Oh my goodness, I absolutely can't wait. But for those of you that want to come and meet Rob, then you need to be here. I can't wait to see him. It's going to be awesome. Our workshop is on the 18th of November. Now, who's coming? Come on, guys. That was a really poor show on Saturday. We had an awesome time, by the way, didn't we? Those of you that were here, we had an awesome time. But that was a really poor Shooting Stars turnout. Now, come on. I'm going to tell you all off now. You've got to use them or you're going to lose them, okay? You have to use them or you're going to lose them. We are more than happy to run them, but you've got to be coming, okay? You've got to be plugging in and getting the information, because we're not going to live it every event. That was a one-off. That was a one-off. But you've got to be coming, okay? These take an awful lot of work to put together, a hell of a lot of work to put together. And Harvey and I could be down the pub on a Sunday and a Saturday. We could have spent the day with our kids, but we don't. We put them on for you because we want to help. And a live event is so much better than just a webinar. Okay, it's not enough just to have webinars. But if you don't use them, we won't run them next year. I promise you. Okay, you've got to come and access them so that you can learn and you can get what you want to get from the business. I appreciate some of you are a million miles away. Emma, bless her, is in Ireland, so we'll let you off. But most of you are within 2 to 3 hours, and it's worth the drive, okay? You're worth it. You're worth it. So let's see everyone here on the 18th of November. Give us a problem that we can't fit you all in the house. Okay, that's everything from us. I hope you've got some value on tonight. We will get the recording loaded up, and if you want the slides posting up so you can copy those messages, then we'll get those up for you as well. For those of you that want to stay on and get a little bit of extra personal development, I know lots of you like to get that extra little personal development session at the end of the webinars while you sat there. So I do have a fantastic video I'm going to play by a lovely lady, Mel Robbins. Lots of you may have heard of her. She does the little 5-minute manager books. She's done loads of TED Talks, so really, really successful. It's a 20-minute video. If you want to stay on and have a listen, you'll get some great value from it. I look forward to seeing loads of you tomorrow night, and have an awesome period 12, guys. See you soon.
Dark, it was cold, it was winter in Boston. And for the first time in 3 months, I had beaten my habit of hitting the snooze button. There are so many people in the world, and you know, you may be watching this right now, and you have these incredible ideas, and what you think is missing is motivation. And that's not true. Because the way that our minds are wired, and the fact about human beings, is that we are not designed to do things that are uncomfortable or scary or difficult. Our brains are designed to protect us from those things, because our brains are trying to keep us alive. And in order to change, in order to build a business, in order to be the best parent, the best spouse, to do all those things that you know you want to do with your life, with your work, with your dreams, you're going to have to do things that are difficult, uncertain, or scary, which sets up this problem for all of us. You're never going to feel like it. Motivation's garbage. You only feel motivated to do the things that are easy, right?
Why do you think that is?
Oh, I know exactly why that is. Because I've studied this so much, because for me, one of the hardest things to figure out was, why is it so hard to do the little things that would improve my life? And what I've come to realize, and what we'll talk a lot about today, is that the way that our minds are designed is our minds are designed to stop you at all costs from doing anything that might hurt you. And the way that this all happens is it all starts with something super subtle that none of us ever catch. And that is with this habit that all of us have that nobody's talking about. We all have a habit of hesitating. We have an idea, you're sitting in a meeting, you have this incredible idea, and instead of just, saying it, you stop and you hesitate. Now, what none of us realize is that when you hesitate, just that moment, that micro moment, that small hesitation, it sends a stress signal to your brain. It wakes your brain up, and your brain all of a sudden goes, oh wait a minute, why is he hesitating? He didn't hesitate when he put on his killer spiky sneakers. He didn't hesitate with the really cool track pants. He didn't hesitate with the NASA t-shirt. Now he's hesitating to talk, something must be up. So then your brain goes to work to protect you. It has a million different ways to protect you. One of them is called the spotlight effect. It's a known phenomenon where your brain magnifies risk. Why? To pull you away from something that it perceives to be a problem. And so you can truly trace every single problem or complaint in your life to silence and hesitation. Those are decisions. And what I do and what's changed my life is waking up and realizing that motivation's garbage. I'm never going to feel like doing the things that are tough or difficult or uncertain or scary or new. So I need to stop waiting until I feel like it. And number two, I am one decision away from a totally different marriage, a totally different life, a totally different job, a totally different income, a totally different relationship with my kids. Not like one decision, I'm divorcing you in the marriage example, but one decision on, you could be having a conversation with your spouse and you feel your emotions rise up, and within a tiny window, those emotions can take over and can impact how your marriage goes. Or you can learn how to take control of that micro moment and make a decision to act in a way that actually shifts your marriage. Your life comes down to your decisions, and if you change your decisions, you will change everything. I was 41 years old. I was unemployed. My husband had started a restaurant business, which was his dream. This is actually a funny story. When he got laid off from a big job in high tech, and I think he was really relieved. You know how a lot of us wait to quit our jobs and then we get laid off and we're like, yes. And he said, I'm not going to look for a job. I'm going to go into the restaurant business. And I think I said the most famous lines of our marriage at that point. I looked at him and I said, listen, buddy, inspiration is for strangers. You get your butt back to that job and you pay the mortgage. And again, micro moment where I'm being a jerk instead of being a supportive wife. But that's an example of where when he said he was not going to go get a job, but he was going to start a business, the first thing that was there was fear.
Right.
And so fear was making the decision for me.
God, I love that you can share that though. That's so powerful.
Well, so what happened is the first restaurant was a home run. And of course, what do when things are successful? You grow it. You grow it really big. And so they decided to raise some money. And we threw in our home equity line, the kids' college savings. They tried to open a second and a third, and at the same point, a grocery store chain encouraged them to go into wholesale. So it basically got way too big, way too fast, and the wheels started to come off. And they came off so badly that the second restaurant failed, and they held on to it for too long, like a lot of us do. It's another trick our brains play on us called sunk costs. When you throw a ton of time and a ton of money at something, it's really hard to let go of it. And if you haven't done it in business, we all have a relationship in our past, stayed way too long. That was a trick your brain played on you. So by the time that they closed the second restaurant, it was an $800,000 loss. I mean, that meant our entire home equity line gone.
Right.
It meant kids' college. I get just choked up just thinking about how terrifying it was. And so I found myself at the age of 41, like just feeling like a complete failure. And so did Chris. And to make it worse, not only had we lost all of our savings, but so many friends and family members had invested. And so there was this real tension between the truth of what was happening and what you had to do in public, because it was a public business. shame, failure, embarrassment, and the liens started to hit the house. The phone started to ring, and it was nothing but collection calls. And I just remember feeling this tremendous shame. And at some point, I think we all hit that moment in life where things just are not going how you thought they would go. And what's amazing about those moments is we all respond very differently. So my husband, he would spring out of bed and he would head right out that door, 6 o'clock in the morning, and he would go meet his partner, and they would go to the bank and they would dig right in and they would face their problems head on. And he's also a smart guy. I mean, he did not want to be in the house when yours truly woke up, because I was a raging bitch at that point in our lives. And the reason why is because when you're scared and you're afraid and you're jealous and you're overwhelmed with emotion, it is so much easier to point the finger at other people. That's a decision, by the way.
Sure.
One you may not be aware that you're making, but you're still making it. So what would happen to me is the exact opposite. Is Chris would be gone, the alarm would go off at 6 o'clock in the morning, and I would lie there. And I would think about the lien on the house, and I would think about the bankruptcy that we were facing, and I would think about how much we had fought the night before, and I would think about the fact that I was unemployed, and I would hit the snooze button. I mean, why would you get up when your life is like that? Why would you? I mean, I needed confidence, I needed courage. I was so tapped out. And you know, in the scheme of life, hitting the snooze button is not that big of a deal. But here's the thing about life. None of us wake up and say, today is the day I destroy my life. What we do is we kind of check out because it feels overwhelming. Or we check out because we're afraid. Or we check out because we start listening to self-doubt, and then we make these teeny tiny decisions all day long. We don't even realize it. Decision to not get up on time, a decision to not eat the right thing, a decision to snap at your kids, a decision to not speak in a meeting, a decision to not look for a job, a decision to not deal with your finances, a decision to not call your parents, like whatever it is. All day long, these tiny decisions that take you so far off track. And then you wake up like I did, and you look at your life and you think, how the hell did I get here? And more importantly, how do I get back over there? And you have no idea. And so I was so trapped. And I know from your story, you felt the same way. Like you knew that there was more in store for you, but you couldn't figure out, how do you close that gap? How do you find the power that's in you? How do you discover your greatness? How do you solve these problems? It feels so overwhelming when you can't. I mean, I would go to the grocery store and the items would scan, and I would be sitting there readying my excuse because there was no way that my check card was going to clear.
Wow.
So I got in this struggle with myself that a lot of us find ourselves in, and that is you get trapped in what I call the knowledge action gap. You know what to do, but you can't seem to make yourself do it, right? I mean, every one of us is one Google search away from a list of instructions that if you follow any of them, it will change your life. But how do you get out of your head and stop thinking about what you need to do and actually do it? And in my case, this stuff was pretty easy. Get up on time, make breakfast for the kids, get them on the bus, start looking for a job. Be nicer to Chris. Don't drink so much. Instead of isolating yourself, pick up the phone and call a friend. Get yourself out into the woods and go for a walk. Start running again. Like all these little things that I was capable of, but I couldn't get out of here. Could not get out of here. And if you're stuck, that's the problem. The problem is you're in your head, you're thinking. That is the universal problem. And it all starts with this knowledge of what to do, and then you hesitate and you think about whether or not you feel like doing it. So for a couple months I was really stuck. Chris would get up at 6, I'd hit the snooze, and then I'd hit the snooze, and then I'd hit the snooze, the kids would miss the bus. And then every night I'd do the same thing. I'd go in bed. Have you ever had one of those nights? Probably before you started your company, but where you go in bed and you're like, all right, Tom, that's it. Tomorrow, it's the new me. Tomorrow, I'm gonna get up on time. I am gonna go to the gym. I am going to look for a job. I'm not going to drink so much. It's going to be amazing. The new me, the future me. Woo! Let's do this, right? Then you go to bed and you wake up 7 hours later and you're like, I don't feel like the new me. It's the only, that's a stupid, see, motivation's garbage. It's never there when you need it. Ever. Ever, ever, ever. And so here's what happened to me, and thank you for wearing the NASA t-shirt. It's a really stupid story.
It's a powerful story.
So one night, Chris had gone to bed. I'd been struggling. We still had all the same problems. We still had a lien on the house, still facing bankruptcy, still fighting like crazy. I was still unemployed. They still hadn't figured out like the solution yet for the business. And I was about to turn off the TV, and there on the TV, there was this rocket launching, and I thought, oh my gosh, that is it! I am gonna launch myself out of bed like a rocket ship, like NASA, right here, had launched me out of that bed. And I'm gonna move so fast that I don't think. I'm gonna beat my brain. Now, here's a really interesting point. I talk a lot about your instincts and inner wisdom. And we can get into this a little bit later, but a lot of us talk about the fact that you have a gut feeling. But what all this research that I've done for the book and all the speaking that I do, what I've discovered that's fascinating is actually when you set goals, when you have an intention on something that you want to change about your life, your brain helps you. What it does is it opens up a checklist, and then your brain goes to work trying to remind you of that intention that you set. And it's really important to develop the skill, and I say that word purposefully, the skill of knowing how to hear that inner wisdom and that intention kicking in and leaning into it quickly. So for me, my brain saying, that's it, right there, move as fast as a rocket, Mel. I wanted to change my life. And I think most people that are miserable or that are really like dying to be great and dying to have more, we want to change. We want to live a better life. We want to create more for our families. We want to be happier. The desire is there. Again, it's about how do you go from knowledge to action. So the first thing in this story that's important is realizing that the answer was in me. And my mind was telling me, pay attention. Could have also been the bourbon. I had a couple of Manhattans that night. But anyway, the next morning, the alarm goes off, and I pretended NASA was there. It's the stupidest story. I literally went 5, 4, 3, 2, 1. I counted out loud, and then I stood up. And I'll never forget standing there in my bedroom. It was dark, it was cold, it was winter in Boston. And for the first time in 3 months, I had beaten my habit of hitting the snooze button. I couldn't believe it, and I thought, wait a minute. Counting backwards? That is the dumbest thing I've ever heard in my entire life. Well, the next morning I used it again and it worked. The next morning I used it again and it worked. The next morning I used it again and it worked. And then I started to notice something really interesting. There were moments all day long, just like that 5-second moment in bed, where I knew, knowledge, what I should do. And if I didn't move within 5 seconds, my brain would step in and talk me out of it. Every human being has a 5-second window. It might even be shorter for you. You have about a 5-second window in which you can move from idea to action before your brain kicks into full gear and sabotages any change in behavior. Because remember, your brain is wired to stop you from doing things that are uncomfortable or uncertain or scary. It's your job to learn how to move from those ideas that could change everything into acting on them in the smallest moment.
And for anyone right now at home who's thinking like this sounds too simple, too easy, talk a bit about your community, because reading some of their comments, it's crazy how many people, like the sheer volume of people you quote in your book, but if you also go online and just look at the people that are like directly reaching out to you, it is an avalanche of people that have stories around the 5-second rule.
Well, one of the reasons why I'm so excited about this book, and look, you don't have to buy the book. This is an idea that you can use. It's free. It's backed by science. More than 8 million people around the world have discovered it. And you're talking about the number of people. We've heard from more than 100,000 people in 80 countries that are using this rule. We know of 11 people who have stopped themselves from killing themselves using this rule.
I saw one of those.
Yes,
outreaches.
yes. There's a guy, Steve, that wrote to us who was a veteran. He was suffering from post-traumatic stress disorder. He boarded a ferry overseas with the intention to jump over. He walked over to the railing, and his inner wisdom kicked in. In that moment, the 5-second rule, 5, 4, 3, 2, 1, counting backwards, moved away from the railing, asked for help, saved his life. His story has inspired countless other people that have heard me in the speeches that I give around the world about this one tool. And so, the thing that's so cool about this, and I should tell you the science behind it, because I'm going to be honest with you, it is stupid. Had I ever thought that I would find myself 8 years after discovering it, spending my days telling people about the 5-second rule? First of all, I would have picked a different name, because it reminds you of the one where you have to pick up food within 5 seconds off the floor, right? It was my secret weapon. This was something I did. I never intended to tell anybody, because I went from getting up on time and waking up on time to shaking up my entire life. Because when you understand the power of a 5-second decision, and you understand that you always have a choice to go from autopilot to decision maker, everything in your life will change. You will be a different negotiator. You will be different in sales. You will be unstoppable in the gym, because you will realize the amount of garbage that you put in the way of your hopes, of your dreams, of your potential, of your confidence, of your courage. Everything comes down to the decisions that you make. We all know what to do. None of us know how to make ourselves do it. So I started researching it. Why does something so stupid work? Why? Why does something so silly create such powerful and profound change? Well, here's why. The rule is a form of metacognition. Metacognition is a fancy pants term that means something real simple. You can outsmart your own brain in furtherance of goals. There are tricks that you can use that actually outsmart the tricks your brain plays on you in furtherance of a higher purpose. We all know this. You can restrain yourself if you're in a situation that calls for it. You can jump into a raging river to save your dog or your kid. You can direct yourself in ways if it's important to you. And so the rule, what it does is it does something really remarkable. When you count backwards, 5, 4, 3, 2, 1, what you're actually doing is you're interrupting what researchers call habit loops that get encoded as closed loop patterns in your basal ganglia. That's the part of the brain where your feelings, where your emotions, every habit that you have, which is nothing more than behavior that you repeat that you don't even think about.
I've heard it referred to as a gearbox.
Yeah.
To shift your attention.
Yes. And so when you go 5, 4, 3, 2, 1, it interrupts what's going on here that's spinning without you thinking, and it moves and awakens your prefrontal cortex. So when you hit 1, your habit has been interrupted. So you've interrupted self-doubt. You've interrupted maybe snapping at your kids. You've interrupted the desire to grab for a drink. You've interrupted procrastination. You've also, by counting backwards, done an action. It's awakened your prefrontal cortex. That is the part of the brain that you need that's awake when you're changing behavior, when you're learning new things. When you hit 1, it's also a prompt. So in the language of research, you'll hear people talk about starting rituals. That is something that's proven to help you learn a new habit. The 5-second rule, when you repeat it, becomes a starting ritual that triggers you to act with confidence, that triggers you that this is a moment for courage, that triggers you to shift gears. And because you've also done the manual work of awakening the part of the brain that you need to change, you've set yourself up for success. It doesn't work if you count up, because you can keep going. And also, counting up doesn't require focus. If you count backwards, 5, 4, 3, 2, 1, it again awakens the prefrontal cortex and it prompts you to move. When you start to use it and then you read about it, you'll see that it's being used all over the place. They use it in the armed services in order to align troops and get them to start an exercise. They use it at elementary schools, 5, 4, 3, 2, 1, at big assemblies to get a huge room full of kids to stop talking.
Simple and interesting example, yeah.
Because it requires you to focus. It's not a habit. It will become a habit that prompts you to have confidence and courage. But in the beginning, it interrupts patterns of behavior that you do on autopilot. It helps you assert control, and it teaches you how to become the kind of person that moves from thinking about something to actually doing it. About human beings is that we are not